Just figured we'd do a little video about boost gauges. So here's the boost gauge ready mounted. You'll see one negative wire, one positive wire. Positive wire needs to be wired up to preferably something on the ignition side. Comes on when the lights turn on. Negative just needs to go to earth somewhere. There's also a wee vacuum straw down here, which, as you can see, we've run down through inside the dashboard and taken off the cowlings down underneath the steering wheel, just to make that somewhat more accessible. There's a couple of wee fittings which we should probably go through. So there's a little T-piece here. On the back of the gauge, we've got this wee fitting and a little wee olive. It's quite important that the olive goes in, sits on the pipe, and then you put said wee olive and pipe and fitting, screw it all together, screw it up tight onto the back of the gauge. That's the gauge end sorted. Here's the locking nut and the olive over the vacuum pipe for the boost gauge, and up there is the fitting which I'm about to screw together. Very important that we don't lose the olive. Real fiddly too, it's easy to drop, so be careful with that. I've just run the vacuum line through a wee hole in the firewall that was already there for the speedo cable, and we're going to plumb that into one of the vacuum lines coming off the inlet manifold. Now down here we have the vacuum line for the adjustable fuel pressure regulator. Highly recommended that we don't tee off that, because we need all the pressure we need going to that doing its job properly. So I'm probably going to take a feed off of this one, put that T in there and run that cable into there. And this is the wee T-piece plumbed into one of the vacuum lines. It's quite important not to kink the vacuum tube to the boost gauge. Also pays to have a little bit extra, so that if you decide to move it or you've got to do some maintenance on the car at some point, there's a little bit of wiggle room